the highest priority onto the calendar before you schedule the others. So in this case, let's call a doctor's office up. Basically, we're going to have a calendar. This grid represents a monthly view of a calendar. The people represent how many people you're trying to book each calendar day to go on site. And the funnel is basically the routing funnel. When you drop work onto the funnel, it's going to find a place for this work on the calendar. Now, when you call a doctor's office, you're basically wanting to know what capacity, what days could we stop by. So this doctor is saying these are 2 days you could stop by. But as you can see from all these projects that we have scheduled, we have at least 3.5 days worth of work between project A and B. So let's press them. How about next week? What days are available? Okay, great. Now we have 4 working days, and what we're going to want to do is we're going to drag the work from the project up above into the routing funnel. This routing funnel will place the work on the days and fill them up in chronological order. Conceivably in a UI, you could also drag that project's work down to a particular day and fill that day up first. But this will give you a lot of control over which projects you schedule first and how they fill up the calendar. So let's say we've dragged project A and B's worth of work onto the calendar, and we were doing this with one project worker in mind. But let's take a look at what's happening on each of these days. How does capacity work, and how do your project workers in your area contribute to being able to do this type of scanning work? So first, let's say for site 1, we know it's in a certain geographical area that's served by 3 workers, 3 mobile workers that can go do scanning. And if you were to use 0 out of your 3 workers, you have 0 capacity that you can take on that day. So if you were to use 1 of your workers, in our assumption, they could scan up to 40 documents that day. So each day on the calendar, is basically needs to be kept track of at this level. So 1 worker, 40 jobs. And as you drag work from the projects onto a day, it starts to fill